I'm going to record a short video to explain a little bit about what I want you to do for this assignment, HTML assignment. By the end of the assignment, you will have created these files here, index.html, elements.html, and so on, and those files will be stored in a folder called HTML. And so what I'm going to show you is just to get you started, make sure that you use the hierarchy of folders in the Subversion repository in the way that I would like you to do. So I'm going to go to my desktop, and in my desktop I have a folder CSE 322. As you can see, there's the .svn directory, which indicates that this is a working copy of a Subversion repository. This is the folder from the previous assignment. So we're going to create a new folder for this assignment, and I'll create that folder now. It's called HTML. That's what I asked for in the assignment. And let's descend into that folder, and then we'll look up here. The first file that I want you to create is index.html, because that's what I think I asked for here. Of course, you can do these in different sequence. Let's create that file. So I right-click inside this HTML folder and do New Text Document. And I'm going to highlight the entire file name and paste into here. Now, for this to work correctly, and I showed this in my previous video, you need to have this view setting, hide extensions for known file types. This should be checked off and applied to all folders, preferably. Unless you want to just apply it to the folders in this course, that's fine. Otherwise, it's hard to create this file using the procedure I just showed you. So let's see, I'm going to open that. I'll open that with, say, WordPad. And I'm going to create that file. And I created or posted a simple HTML file that you can use as a starter file under this link. There it is. And I can paste that into this index.html file. And now we have an index.html file. And this is a locally stored HTML file. If I double click that, you'll see that it's visible in the browser. If you look at the URL, you'll see it begins with the word file colon. This section of this is called the URL that appears inside the browser, a search entry box or whatever it's called. And but this URL, the first thing that the URL starts with is called the protocol, or it's the procedure that the browser uses to obtain the file. In this case, the file is index.html. It will, by by using file colon like this, it's an instruction to the browser to retrieve this file through the file system. So now we can continue to make edits to that file. So let me, this time I'll open it with Notepad. And I'll change it from Hello World to Goodbye Cruel World. And let's save that. Look over here. This is an important consideration when you're developing web pages, that even though we change the file, the file that's displayed in the browser is the version of the file when we retrieved it from the file system. So we need to tell the browser to refresh its view of this web resource. See, there it is, reload this page. We need to reload the page. There it is, Goodbye Cruel World. So we have, in fact, changed the file. So go back to the instructions. What I want you to do is basically go through here and create all of these files and carry out the instructions that I've written up here. I'll just do one more so that you can see how that's done. And let's create a new. I want to show you what happens if I don't have the folder and search options set here. It's right here at its view. Let's suppose that I hide the extensions for known file types and apply it to this folder. Now if I create a file of type text document, this is what we did last time. You see, it doesn't show the extension. So if I name the file index.html, you can see something is going wrong. The icon shows that it's a text document. That's the type. You can see it there. And if I open that up, let me paste in. I'm going to paste in some HTML here. And here's another way that people get HTML. They go to some web page, whatever, and they right-click or do what? Go into this menu system of the browser and select View Page Source. You do it in different ways based on what browser you're using. I'm using the Google Chrome browser. Let's view the page source, then I can copy what I see. This is very handy when you're learning or even developing HTML files. I'll paste that in here. And this is my elements page. This is my elements page. And I'll change the title of that as well. Let's save that. I could leave it open, but I'm going to close that. Now that was elements.html. So I'm going to copy this URL, open a new tab, and sort of see if I can view that new file, elements.html. Elements.html. What did I call it? Elements.html. Oh, there's the problem right there. So I'm trying to illustrate what the problem is, and that's in fact the problem. This can be viewed, this cannot, and the reason is we were hiding the file extensions for known types. We go back into Organize, and select Folder and Search Options, and go into View and uncheck this Hide Extensions for known file types. Apply it. Now you can see the problem. It was hiding this .txt file, this extension .txt, and that's why the browser wasn't able to show me this. But actually, I could have opened it like this. This is in fact the file. It doesn't render the page. It just considers the contents of that file to be plain text, not to be HTML. So let's change that. We're going to change this name. We're going to, now that we've turned off that default action, we'll remove that extension. It gives a warning here. If you change the file name extension, the file may become unusable. That's fine. And now we can go back and view that. Of course, we need to remove that. Here it is. This is the Elements page. Now what I want you to do with the index.html page is add links. I want you to add links to the other pages. I'll do that using an unnumbered list. And let's put a list item in there. And this will be, we want a link, so we use the A tag with the href attribute. And we'll close the tag there. The name of the file is elements.html, and it's a relative. This is actually a URL, but it's a relative URL relative to the current location. And I'm just going to put the name of the file there. Let's save this. Oops, it's the wrong one. So here it is, it's our list. Oops, HTMLS, how did I do that? This is not right, it's just HTML. I got it right here, so I'll save that correction, then I'll refresh, then click on that, and here we go, that's the Elements page. So at this point, I've demonstrated a little bit about what's going on here, so I want you to finish all of these exercises, and then when you're done, go to your repository here, go up to the top level, right click, if you're in Tortoise, if you're in using another Subversion client, perhaps under Mac OS 10 or Linux, then you'll need to use a slightly different procedure. Here I want to commit my changes. Remember, I went up to the top level. I'm not committing from this folder, I'm committing from the top level folder. That's just a safety precaution if you make a habit of that. Make sure you get everything committed. So I'm going to select svn commit, and as you can see, the default action is to not include new elements. We're going to have to select those. I want this written into the repository. And this is the HTML assignment. You don't have to do this in a single commit. Watch this. I'm going to commit that into the repo. You can actually, as you work on the assignment, you can commit your work incrementally. And I'll give you an example of that. What's a good idea after you commit your work is, what's good to do is to go to the repository and verify that your work is in there. So if you go up to this Subversion assignment, you can pull out the URL And let's test that out. And here's the HTML folder, and you can see it. Here's our index file. Here's the elements file. Now we're seeing the text version of these, even though it shows like this. This is in fact, we're viewing these objects through the Subversion repository system, the Subversion server. So even though the URL looks as if this thing is ending with it looks like it should be an interpreted HTML file. In fact, we're viewing it as an ordinary text file. So let's suppose you were to work a little longer on the assignment. Let's add another link onto the list of links. Suppose we do the next assignment. Or the next file, or inline styles.html. Suppose we did that one. So put it in like that. Oops. Paste that in there. We're going to save that. And we test it, say, oh, there it is, it's good to go. And of course it's not in the repository yet. We link in there, we don't see it, we need to commit it. So once again, you're doing, in this scenario, you're committing your work incrementally, not all at once at the end. And you can see that Tortoise SVN is marking this this file index.html as having been edited or modified since the last time it was synchronized with the repository. Let's go ahead, and I'm not going to commit from here, remember. I'm going to follow that policy of always committing from the top level. As you can see, I made a change to this one file. I don't always need to put a comment in there. And that succeeded. And I go to here. If I refresh my view of this file in the repository, I can see that my change has been written into the repository. Basically, you need to carry out these instructions, and at the end, commit everything into the repository. And finally, you should send me an email. Actually, you don't need to send me an email, just to make sure that you commit your changes into the repository before the deadline, and that'll be good. That's it.